So now I'm going to talk about how I actually became vegan, how I was introduced to this, and all of that sort of stuff. I'm actually kind of really afraid to make this part of the video because I don't know, I'll be talking about beliefs and morals in my opinion, and food is a big part in everyone's lives, because it's kind of the thing that makes us survive. So it was about 2 years ago. It was the summer before my freshman year, and I was actually heading to vacation to Holden Beach, North Carolina, because every year we go there, except for last year I went to Florida. And I was in my grandparents' RV, and I was really bored because it's a 12-hour trip, and I was I slept most of the way, but I was really bored, and so I went onto Netflix just to watch something, and I was just scrolling through pretty much everything, and I was I don't know what to watch at all, and then I saw this documentary called What the Health, and it's actually a pretty popular one. And I was what is this? I was I don't even know what that means, and I was you know what, I'm just gonna watch it for the fun of it because I'm bored. And so I watched it, and it was all about the benefits and stuff of veganism, and the truth about the dairy and the meat industry and all that stuff. And I didn't really know whether to believe it or not. I was kind of just I don't know, this might just be some propaganda type stuff, I don't know. And I don't know, but I watched it all the way through, and I kind of was wow. It was talking about people that would live by these meat factories and stuff. They were usually they usually were economically deprived, and so that was the only choice. They had to live there because they would have the land surrounding that factory would be cheaper, so they would live there, but then their life expectancy would shorten dramatically, because they breathed so much of the pollutions in the air that are coming from the factory, and it was crazy. They were talking, there was one where they were slaughtering these pigs or whatever, and because of all the poop that these pigs would make, it would smell like that in the air constantly where these people lived. And I was that's crazy, and how can you live like that? I feel so bad for them. I was that's crazy to me. And honestly, when I watched it, it was more about the people and not really the animals. There was another one where this dude, he had horrible type 2 diabetes, and he became vegan, and he didn't have to take any more of his medications at all, and it pretty much reversed his type 2 diabetes. And I thought that was crazy. I was how can something do that? But it really is. It is true, and there's been cases and studies where that has actually happened. And it's crazy how just changing your diet can do so much positive. But I still didn't really believe it. I believed it, but I wasn't it didn't really change my ways. And so then I watched another movie on Netflix, actually, right after that, and it was on Netflix recommended. And I watched this movie called Okja, something like that. And it's about this girl. She had this pet pig thing. It wasn't a pig, it was some weird mythical animal, I don't know. And this company was trying to take these animals and make them like make these sausages out of them or whatever. And they were trying to take this animal away from the girl. And the girl was like, no, I don't want to, this like, she like had lived with this animal all of her life, and it was her pet and her best friend, and this company was trying to take it away from her, but they finally did. And then so she has this whole journey in the movie where she tries to get her pet back, and it was kind of scary at the, like, through the middle and the end, because it was showing like like them slaughtering these animals, and there was like, I remember the scene where like there was like this just this kind of like farm or whatever, but all of these like animals were just compacted into it, and they were getting separated from the babies were getting separated from their mothers, and I was like, oh, it just made me so sad. And that's kind of more when I was like, I kind of cared like about the animals, and so I ended up just, I don't know, I ended up just crying at the end of the movie, and it was just really sad. And then right after that, I was like, oh, I'm never eating meat again. Like, no. Now, did that actually happen? No. I mean, it's really hard just to go cold turkey on quitting meat in one day. Like, it's, like, you're so used to eating it, it's kind of like, I mean, if you can do it, I guess, good for you, but for most people, it probably is hard just to quit all the meats in, like, one day. But I tried. So, like, I went to the fridge in the RV, and I was like, I'm hungry, but I'm not going to eat some, like, turkey slices or something. I'm going to eat something good for me, a plant, And we actually did have strawberries, so I cut up some strawberries, and I ate that, but I was still hungry. And I was like, so then I looked in the cupboard, and there was some, like, Ruffles chips, and I was like, I'm going to eat these. So I ate those too, but then I don't know, like, a couple hours went by, I was kind of hungry again, and I felt kind of sick, and I don't know if this was just like motion sickness or what, because I mean, when I'm in like long car rides or anything like that, I do get a little bit like of motion sickness and just like really like a bad headache and all that stuff, and that's kind of what I had. And I was like, you know what, it doesn't matter if I'm hungry. I'm not eating meat. And there was, I'm not eating meat. And I tried to look for more things, and I mean, there wasn't a lot in the RV because, like, there just wasn't. And then we actually once we ended up there at Holden Beach, we always go to this place called the Green Barn. And it's like a seafood place. And I was like, I don't know what to do, because I told myself I'm not going to eat meat, and this is a freaking seafood place. But I ended up eating fish anyways. And that's okay. Like, I'm not mad at myself for giving up. I mean,